Good evening. Welcome to Magic Math, where we learn that all math is magic. Okay, that's not actually true, but it's kind of fun. So, peer into your crystal ball with me to learn about math and specifically proportions and ratios today. Welcome to lesson 110, solving a proportion. Don't be afraid. Math is fun. Okay, let's learn what proportions are. Proportions are any two equivalent ratios put together make a proportion. Any two rows from a rate table can be used to make a proportion. When one number is missing, we call that solving a proportion. So I have looked into my crystal ball and I have found that what I really need to solve this math problem is a pot. And as you can see, the magic pot for today is the 2020 Ultimate Popcorn Bucket. Let's see what we need to put in. So here's the bucket. So first, we need a measure of ratios. We'll add that to the bucket. Now we need a measure of analogies. We'll add that to the bucket. Now we need some math magic. We'll add that to the bucket. Not to only mention, today, to learn about it, we need some chickens. Put that in the bucket, and I just dropped the cows. Hold on. And we also need some cows. And add that to the bucket. Now we stir. Get it all nice and stirred up. And out comes, whoa, wait a minute. That wasn't supposed to happen. We're not supposed to have a psychedelic unicorn. Hold on, but that goes back in the bucket. I guess we need more stirring. All right. And now, alakazam, alakazoo, it's proportions. All right, here it is, eggs laid and gallons of milk given. Now, you can see that each chicken lays about 1 egg per day. But the average dairy cow, especially here in Wisconsin, we have a lot of Holsteins here, a dairy cow gives 9 gallons of milk per day. So, what is the linking unit in this ratio table? What is the missing? Let me get my mystery pointer here. What is the thing that's missing on the side that when we squished those two rate tables together, we squashed something right out? You heard me say it. It's per day. We squashed out the day. Chickens lay 1 egg per day. Remember, it's invisible. You can't see it. Cows give 9 gallons of milk per day. So the per day, that day is the linking unit that was squashed out. So these two tables that we're looking at, eggs laid and milk given, those are the two sides of the ratio table. Now, we're going to take a look and see what happens when one or more of these numbers is missing. All right. Proportions, two equivalent ratios go together to make a proportion. So take a look. We have 2 has a relationship with 18 in the same way as something has a relationship to 27. Remember back to our analogies, that's how we're going to read it. Those 2 dots, those 4 in the middle, mean they have the same relationship in the same way. The 2 dots means that the first number has a relationship to the second number. So 2 has a relationship with 18. Look it over here. The relationship is a chicken lays 2 eggs after 2 days. A cow has given 18 gallons of milk after 2 days. Now, how many, if they keep going at the same rate, remember, in order to be a ratio table, it has to go and go and go and go the same, over and over constantly. It's got to be a constant rate. It's got to be the same. So, if they keep going at the same rate, the chicken keeps laying 1 egg every day. The cow keeps giving 9 gallons of milk every day. 2 has a relationship with 18. By the second day, a chicken has laid 2 eggs, a cow has given 18 gallons of milk. What about some number has a relationship with 27? How many eggs has the chicken laid when the cow has given 27 gallons of milk? You might say, I don't know. How could I figure that out? We're going to learn how to figure it out. What about 4 has a relationship with 36? After 4 days, the chicken has laid 4 eggs. After 4 days, the cow has given 36 gallons of milk. Notice that instead of the 2 sets of colons right next to each other, we've put an equal sign. That's okay. You can do that. That's another way to show a proportion. So 4 to 36 equals 5 to some number. 4 has a relationship with 36. 5 has a relationship with some number. So notice that we called that here, this blank. We just had the blank. Look at that. And we just made a blank. But remember now in 6th grade, letters can be part of math. When you see a letter part of math, it just means a number that we don't know. No, it doesn't mean take out your crystal ball and make up a number. No. It means let's find the number. Let's solve it. So in this case, M is for milk. We know that the chicken has laid 5 eggs. We want to know how much milk the cow has given in that same amount of time. All right, take a look. Factor puzzles. Now, let's look at the numbers that we had. We had 2 is in a relationship with 18 in the same way that some number is in a relationship with 27. Now, look at this. I've set up a factor puzzle for us right here. I've even labeled some of the columns. I've labeled the column chickens and I've labeled the column cows. I could have labeled it eggs and milk. That'd have been okay too. Either one. So in the chicken, oh my goodness, my light just crashed. Hold on. And alakazam. And it's fixed. Cool. Good thing I brought my magic dry erase marker. Math, it's just magic. Okay, so take a look. Good. We had 2, the chicken laying 2 eggs. As a matter of fact, maybe I should even go ahead and change those to eggs rather than chickens. Just, oh, holy cow. I'm going to have to stop again a minute because I am just messing this up. Oh, goodness. All right. Let's get rid of that and name it eggs because it might be less confusing. Then I'm going to go over here and name this because we're calling it the mystery M. So let's put milk. Now, here it is. I'm going to put it in that box. Make it bigger so we can see it easier. So there is 2 eggs for every 18, whoops, that's 17, 18 gallons of milk. All right. Do you see how this is coming together to be a factor puzzle? What are we going to do with the other one? Now, this is really important. You have to match up the categories. You can't put the blank and the 27 anywhere you want. You have to match it up. So we don't know how many eggs, but we do know how much milk. So we have to make sure to put this empty space where it goes with the eggs and the 27 where it goes with the milk. So I'm going to leave this space blank, and over under the milk, I'm going to write 27. Do you notice how that looks exactly like a factor puzzle that you know how to solve? That's how we're going to solve proportions. We're going to go way back. Go way back to the beginning of the year to solve the factor puzzle that you know how to do. And now we're going to call them mathematical proportions. We're going to call it solving a proportion. Woohoo! All right, if you can't remember how to solve a factor puzzle, go back to lesson 1-1. Look in our Google Classroom. You'll find the video that talks you through it and walks you through it. 1-1 and 1-2. If you didn't do those lessons at the beginning of the year, or you missed out, you weren't here, or you've just forgotten, go back and rewatch just parts of those videos to help you remember how to solve factor puzzles. Now, let's get the other one set up here. Let's get this erased, and let's set up the other one. Now, this is 4 to 36. Remember, the first number was the eggs, and the 36 is the milk, gallons of milk. What if I put it down here? Would that be okay? If I put 4 down under the eggs, look at that, it follows under the eggs. Remember, it's got to fall under the same category, so I labeled that category eggs. So everything in that column has to be eggs. But what if instead of putting it on the top, what if I put it on the bottom? Now there's milk. Again, I have to match up the 4 with the 36. I can't put the 36 here because they go together. The 4 and the 36 go together. So I can't do that. I've got to put the 36 with the 4. But as long as I put them together, it doesn't matter if I put them on the bottom or the top. This is a factor puzzle, remember? Sometimes the numbers in the multiplication chart are upside down. That's okay. Now, I've got 5 and M. Where should I put the 5 and the M? Well, the M we know stands for milk, so it has to go in the milk category. So there's the M. I'm going to put it right in there. Now, what about the 5? The only spot left. That looks exactly like a factor puzzle, but this time, instead of having an empty space, we have an M. If you're unnerved by that, you say, that doesn't look like any factor puzzle I've ever solved. That's okay. Get rid of the M. Leave it as a blank. We know a letter means a number that we don't know. Have fun solving these factor puzzles, also called proportions.